One of the things we really want to look for is sign. So some of the signs that we look for is tracks on the ground, pathways where they're going through, and even hair on barbed wire. So what we have here is we have a really nice path, and they're walking through this area, and they're trying to get to some really good feed across there. So while they go through this fence, you can see the pathway here, and you can also see the hair on the barbed wire itself as they jump and go over this. So we have some elk hair here, so we know that they're moving through this area pretty good. That's really good sign. So when we're scouting, we're looking for pathways and trails. We found one here that is unbelievable. There's so many tracks and so beaten down that it's almost like a highway. If you look down here, you can see deer, elk, all kinds of different tracks coming through here on a regular basis. So we've got a little bit of rain, so you can really tell that they're fresh and really indentation. If you look down this way, you can see where that path just goes straight through. This is really, really a good area. So we're going down this path. You can see this really good path here, just full of elk tracks. So as we're coming along, we see something down the trail, and there's a lynx right ahead of us and just kind of trotted on down there. Kind of cool to see, you know, one of the big cats out in the wild. You don't see them very often out in the woods at all. That was kind of neat. So we're going to set up a trail camera in this spot and see what comes through and see real time what's moving through. Is it cows? Is it bulls? Is it a lot of deer? We know there's elk coming through here because all the tracks are elk. But we'll actually see if it's the cows moving through to feed, or if it's a group of bulls, or bulls actually starting to chase cows. So in selection, you want to get a good sturdy tree. So we're probably going to use that poplar that's just right over here. And that gives us a good field of view and an angle. And also we'll clear away some of the brush and make sure we don't have stuff that blows in the breeze, setting off the sensors. So one of the things that we like to do is make sure that the camera is aimed where we want it to aim. One of the little tricks that you can do, and it works actually quite good, is just use your cell phone. Put it on picture and reverse it so it's facing to you, and set that cell phone right up on the trail camera itself. And then you can actually see exactly the field of view that you're going to see from that camera once you have it turned on. So that's actually pretty good. And then afterwards you want to go through, make sure you take out any small bushes, things that might be swaying back and forth when the wind comes, so you're not triggering your camera unnecessarily, wearing the batteries down, or just filling it up with gobbledygook.
Go.
Okay, so having the correct mode on your camera, there's a lot of different modes you can do. There's pre-settings. Certain amount of pictures, certain amount of video. I like to go to the custom mode and make sure that I'm getting the highest quality, and I like to do films. So the mode that's on there for films is 10 seconds. I want to do a little bit longer, 30 seconds. It's going to run that battery a little more, but you get some really good footage, and you can actually see, you know, what's coming through, size of them, and it's better to judge the animal that way. So last thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we actually turn the thing on. So me and my buddy Joey have been hunting a long time using trail cameras. We've got back to a spot and realized that, you know, 2 weeks later we're expecting all this footage and some great game pictures and video, and we never even turned the thing on. So I go through and I make sure that I pre-program these. I know they're good to go, but we always want to make sure we turn it on. I'm going to turn this one on to custom. Okay, which is my video setting. I want to make sure that it's actually working. So it's counting down right there. I have 100% battery, and I'm ready to go. I'm just going to close this up, and then we back up a little bit, And something I always do is give it a nice pose, like that, and then we carry on. There's our first video. Okay, so this is one of the spots that I already knew about that I wanted to put up a trail camera that I never have before. So we got this pathway that we've been following, lots of elk sign, there's tons of it actually. And we got this really great cross point. I mean, it's incredible. So if you look down this way, you can see where they're crossing the fence. They're going over there, they're heading down into the valley. And then if you come right across from it, over here, you can see where they're also crossing. I mean, look at this game trail. That is just unbelievable. Now, that's something to be seen. So this is a fantastic spot for a trail camera and seeing what comes through. So we've selected a good tree. We're going to go right up on this one. It's kind of a little bit out of the way. And the reason that you want them kind of out of the way, you want to put them up a little higher as well, because these cameras, they put out, it's not a frequency we can hear, but they do put out some sort of a noise. Because in the past, when I put up cameras, bears will hear it, also elk will hear it. And they'll come over and they'll actually rub up against it and crash it. And I've had elk, you can see the horns on the pictures, knocking it right off. Bears will pull them right out of trees, things like that. So you want to put them kind of out of the way and also make sure they're good and secure and up a little higher as well so they can't mess up the camera. So again, each time you want to make sure you check that field of view, and I'm going to use that camera trick that I kind of use. Also, you want to make sure while you're looking in that camera view, you can kind of see what's kind of in the way. You know, maybe you got some limbs blowing, some trees blowing over here. All that's going to trigger the sensors in this camera, and it's going to be constantly coming off without any game here. So you want to make sure that you clear some of this stuff out of the pathway so you get some good quality pictures and not setting it off unnecessarily, running your batteries down. Yeah, that's a pretty good field of view.